Hey, Candace here. So, are you ready for a little quiz? True or false? Albert Einstein was a below average school student. What do you think? True or false? You use 10% of your brain. True or false? Positive self-statements like I will succeed or I am lovable are a good way to boost low self-esteem. True or false? So what were your answers to those three statements? Most people answered true for most or all of those statements, and that's expected. I mean, countless books, TV programs, and articles on self-improvement tell you these things as if they are hard facts. They tell you Einstein did poorly in school, the message being that if Einstein can go on to such greatness despite his early failures, then you can too. They tell you that you use just 10% of your brain, the message being, imagine what you could achieve if you used all of your brain. And they tell you that positive affirmations will give you high self-esteem, the message being, oh, it's easy to eliminate negative self-talk. So, as you may have guessed by my tone, and maybe the image that I have up right now that probably gave it away, all of these so-called facts are actually false. Yes, Einstein did poorly in French in his early teen years, but overall he was a good student, excelling in math and physics. His marks in all his subjects averaged more than 80% in his final year at school. As far as using only 10% of your brain, well, there isn't a shred of hard evidence to support that. Scientists have studied the brain with MRIs, PET scans, and microscopes. There isn't one part of the brain that is redundant, meaning that every part of it serves a function and you use 100% of it every day. If a stroke, tumor, or injury destroys even a tiny percentage of the brain, it usually results in significant disability. And then lastly, positive affirmations. Again, there's no scientific evidence to support them. In fact, science suggests the exact opposite. In 2009, a groundbreaking study was published in the journal Psychological Science with the title Positive Self-Statements, Power for Some, Peril for Others. The study showed that some people with low self-esteem actually felt worse after repeating affirmations. The positive thought triggered a strong negative reaction. For example, if a participant with low self-esteem said to herself, I am a lovable person, her mind would answer back, no you're not, and run through a list of all the ways in which she was not lovable to prove that. And of course, that made her feel worse. So when participants were told it was okay to have negative thoughts, their moods lifted. So what does this all have to do with social confidence? Well, it demonstrates the fact that we're all full of it. We walk around with our heads full of inaccurate and misleading information. We are all too ready to believe all sorts of seemingly common sense ideas without stopping to question their origin or validity. It's important to remember this because if we hold on tightly to these ideas, they can create all sorts of problems for us. As Mark Twain put it ain't what you don't know that gets you in trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. Alright, so let's break down some of the most common myths or false truths when it comes to fear and confidence. Myth number 1. Fear is a sign of weakness. Well, the fact is, when you step out of your comfort zone, take a risk or face a challenge, you will feel fear. That's not weakness. It's a sign of normality. It's the normal state for human beings. If you didn't experience that sense of fear when you faced a challenge or stepped outside your comfort zone, it would mean there's something likely seriously wrong with your brain. Sure, the size of our comfort zones may vary, but there's no way to expand your comfort zone without stepping out of it. Okay? Moving on to myth number 2, fear impairs performance. So think about the top athletes, the movie stars, public speakers, musicians, or other stage performers. They put themselves out there in the public all the time. And what do they experience? That's right, the fight or flight response. Of course, the top performers rarely refer to it as fear or anxiety. They're more likely to call it being pumped, amped, having an adrenaline rush. Right? They use these kinds of words because they know this simple fact. Fear is not your enemy. It's a powerful source of energy that can be harnessed and used for your benefit. And you're going to learn how to do this in this course. Myth number 3, fear holds you back. What holds you back isn't fear, it's your attitude towards fear. The tighter you hold on to the attitude that fear is something bad and that you can't do the things you want until it goes away, the more stuck you will be. In fact, that attitude will not only keep you stuck, but it's also going to increase your fear. It leads to fear about your fear, anxiety about your anxiety, nerves about your nerves. So it's not fear that holds people back, it's their attitude toward it that keeps them stuck. As Eleanor Roosevelt put it, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. The danger lies in refusing to face the fear and not daring to come to grips with it. Myth number 3 is confidence is the absence of fear. So the story goes that confident people don't feel anxious or afraid. Well, that's simply not true. In challenging situations, even the most confident people on the planet experience fear. Remember, it's part of our DNA, it's part of our evolution. When you know how to handle it effectively, though, it won't destroy your confidence. And that, of course, leads to the second rule of the confidence game, which I touched upon in the last video. Genuine confidence is not the absence of fear, it is a transformed relationship with fear. Genuine confidence is not the absence of fear, it's a transformed relationship with fear. Alright, so are you ready to transform your relationship with fear, to stop seeing it as an enemy and turn it into a powerful source of energy? We're going to start to learn exactly how to do that in the next module, Watch Your Thinking. Before you head over to Module 1 though, be sure to download the key points file, which is below this video. It's a summary of all the main points that we covered in the warm-up area. So keep these key points with you as you progress through the rest of the program. These are going to be the foundation from which we build upon. Alright, so congratulations on completing the warm-up area. Great job. I'll see you in the next module.